for people who don't know, the coroner's jobs, their requirement is when a person passes away unexpectedly and the coroner is involved. If a person is deceased, whether there's an ambulance there, doesn't matter if the fireys are there, that deceased person remains in that spot, and the government undertaker that is contracted by the coroner is to attend and do the retrieval. So sometimes we quite commonly get asked the fact, the person might pass away and there's an ambulance there.
Yep.
They ask if the ambulance is the people that do the transportation. In fact, it is not.
No, it's not.
The ambulance will go and the government undertaker will come and do the retrieval.
Once someone's declared dead or deceased,
yes.
Whether it's in a traffic accident or just in the home or whatever, basically the ambulance, their job's done.
Yep.
The police investigate it the best they can. Sometimes that investigation takes a lot longer than others, depending on the case. And once ready for transfer, we get the call.
Yep. How did you go with your first? Do you remember your first coroner's job?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Without naming any names. Or
anything. I won't do names. But mate, it was just and that first transfer was Dino. With Dino.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
shout out to Dino down Sunny
Not
Coast.
Not Dino, mate. With Dino.
Yeah, with Dino. Not on Dino. Yeah. But no, this was a fairly big, solid chap, mate.
Yeah.
He'd
I remember that now. Yeah.
Doing some drugs and stuff like that, and decided to try something else, and he just kept going and going and going with it, and in the end, it killed him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everyone that was there at the party with him just left.
Yeah.
So I think they might have rang the ambulance before they all left, or as they were leaving. But
they didn't want to be in the area.
They didn't want to be there. No.
When they all turned up.
Yeah.
How did you find that? Did you find because it's a totally different. Let's be honest, it's a totally different experience.
It's a different feeling, and it's hard to describe, mate. Because how can I put it? It's an adrenaline rush.
It is, yes.
Especially, you get called to do a particular job. When the police ring, because I take the after hours phones too, so I'm talking to police communications pretty regularly.
Yes.
And they give you certain details, so you don't know exactly what you're turning up to sometimes.
Yep.
So the adrenaline starts going, mate. You don't know what's going to be there when you get there. All you know is that unfortunately someone's deceased, and they require the government undertakers.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much experience you've got in the funeral industry with doing funerals and all that sort of stuff. It's a totally different experience. Even dealing with retrievals or transfers, we call them transfers. Yeah. Collection of deceased is some other names. Is a totally different. It's a totally different experience. It's actually tending a scene where someone has been potentially murdered.
Yeah.
It could be someone that's died of tragic circumstances, car accident, some sort of trauma, whether it was self-inflicted or whatever the case may be, and actually been involved with that scenario and actually witnessing it, seeing it. All the elements going through, smell, everything. Everything's in heightened.
Yeah.
It's a totally different experience. And to some, it can be actually quite overwhelming.
It can be,
and we've had people in the past where they've actually started at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
We take them out.
And they're gone by
lunch. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but also on that same token too, and you might be one of these people itself, is that you come in for the first day and you got them for life.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You sort of know I reckon, with their attitude, the way they handle themselves. And of course, mate, we'll sit around and have a beer, after work and stuff like that.
Yeah, debrief.
And that's what we do. We debrief.
Yeah.
I think if you didn't do that, you would go crazy on
Of
some
course.
of the stuff we do.
Definitely.
If you just went straight home, because even though, mate, I've got a very supportive wife and family.
Of course.
She doesn't need to know or doesn't want to know.
But also too, you don't want to
things.
Yeah,
I don't want to
burden them.
Yeah, that's
with
right.
some of those things, and that's I completely understand that. And who's best to debrief with that with the other people that you're actually doing it with?
Working with, And we've always said, mate, if you've got a problem, if you've done something like done a transfer or something like that, and you think it might have affected you, let us know. And mate, if we can't help you, we'll get someone that can help you.
Yeah.
Because mate, at the moment we got some pretty good staff.
Yeah, of course.
And I do know one of the young chaps.
Yeah. He had a bit of a rough drop
He
there.
did have a bit of a rough trot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he didn't say anything at first.
No, we just noticed it.
Yeah, you're coming in really, really tired. 2 days later, sort of thing. And what the fuck's going on, mate?
It was a self-inflicted gunshot.
That's correct. Yeah. And mate, he couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
He wasn't sleeping. He reckons every time he closed his eyes, he got that vision.
Understandably, it is quite a scene to see.
Oh Christ, yeah.
And look, we don't try to just throw people in the deep end too.
No.
We don't do that at all. We try to accustom people, the employees, to scenes. Like we try to warm them up to them, because it is quite confronting to have something like that. So when we say that this young fella had gone to a scene where a person had taken their own life with a gunshot firearm. This would be quite confronting. But we'd been taking him on. He'd been doing jobs for quite a bit of time. It wasn't. He didn't start on Monday and then we threw him into it on Tuesday.
No. I mean, he'd done others where the person's been
everyone has
decomposed and stuff like that.
That's right.
And he was fine with that.
Advanced decomposition.
Yeah. So mate,
other tragic circumstances.
Obviously, you should never assume anything. But I just thought because he could handle those particular jobs, he would have been okay with this one.
Yeah. Everyone has different trigger points.
Yeah.
It could be different things. It doesn't have to be visual. It can be the smell.
It can be, mate, well and truly. And this is why I say to new people, you talk to coppers and stuff like that, they go, especially with severe decomposition and stuff, they turn and say, rub a bit of Vicks under your nose, or a bit of eucalyptus or something. And I always tell them, don't do that.
No.
Because every time you smell
eucalyptus is going to remind you of that.
The vision's going to come back in your head.
Of course.
So you're better off just
of course.
Put a mask on and just get in there and do it.
Yeah, because that smell is a unique smell.
It is.
And it's a smell that you will remember for the rest of your life.
Sure will.
And you do not want to associate that smell with anything else.
Trigger memories.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because if you do, every time you smell that other thing, you're going to smell that.
You're going to get it. Yeah.
You're going to get it. Yeah.
And that stuff, it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or how strong you are or something like that. But yeah.
That smell will permeate through to you. Will go through your clothes. It goes through everything. And so you have to have a fucking shower when you're finished, because you do fucking stink.
You've normally got to,
And the problem is you get accustomed to it.
Yeah, while you're there doing it, you can't smell it.
Yeah, you get back to work and people are like, what the fuck?
You walk into McDonald's.
Yeah, they go, what the fuck?
After a transfer.
Yeah.
And everyone just stops and looks at you and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, so these are, and, we're not trying to, we're just saying like this is what it's really like.
It is, yeah.
100%. And this is a part of this. This is a part of what we're trying to get through to people with our podcast and stuff like that. So it's just transcending these taboos, letting people know these are the things that these funeral directors and people are dealing with every day.
Yeah. The general public don't know.
They don't know about anything about it.
And mate, if people looked out for people a little bit more, you wouldn't have to worry about doing a decomp.
Well,
we call them decomps, decomposition.
Yeah, that's right. That's the nickname for it, decomp. So the idea is like it's more of a case of just being more open to it. People are aware of what's going on, being enlightened about these situations, because a lot of these things go unheard of. People don't hear it. Mate. They don't hear of.
That's 2 cartons of beer.
That's
2 cartons of beer, mate.
Jesus Christ. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Get rid of that phone.
We'll be right back after this brief